Welcome or welcome back to the channel. We're going to do this as quickly as I can because my battery is about to die. I thought, I'll charge it before I do this video. And then I realized, I'm not going to have time. So we're going to try to go through some of the stuff that's coming out in March that I either have on ARC or I am looking forward to and want to get to at some point. At the top of the list, and I'm going to do this a little differently. I'm not going to go through things I have pre-ordered because I've canceled all of those, and I'm not going to go through and differentiate between the ARC and stuff. I might mention it as I go through the list, but we're just going to look at what's coming up in March so that you have a heads up if there's anything you're interested in. So there are two off the top of my list that are series I am currently reading and I'm keeping up with amazingly. The first is the Dream Harbor series. It's a cozy romance sort of series, and the Strawberry Patch Pancake House comes out. I really like these. They're all set in this one little touristy coastal town and they're very funny. They have these very cute covers, but there is a little bit of spice. It's mainly though just like a very rom-com feeling series, and that's all of the books. If you like that sort of thing, I recommend these. The other one is Beautiful Exile, which is the third or fourth Pharaoh Falls book by Catherine Cowles. I actually have no idea what couple this is. This is a series of romantic suspense that are all set in a little town called Sparrow Falls, and it's following this family of foster kids and found family who have grown up together, and they're meeting, the person they're going to fall in love with. I read Delicate Escape and Broken Harbor last month, and the first book the month before. So this is the one that is coming out in a new pretty edition with sprayed edges next month, so I will read it then. So if you like those, if you like romantic suspense, I love these. I didn't think I liked romantic suspense anymore, and then I read these and now it turns out I do love these a lot. So besides that, let me double check. Oh, another series I am keeping up with, usually through ARCs, which means yes, I do have this one on ARC. I forgot. Is Chaos by Constance Fay. This is also another series. It's got some romantic elements to it, but it is a sci-fi series, and it's following different people, and they all circle around this same ship. And it's a salvage ship. The first book they were sent on a mercenary style mission to this planet to check some info. Things evolved and deteriorated. And the second book takes place with one person from the ship, but the primary character was a bounty hunter who ended up entangled with them. I don't know what's going on in this third one, but I'm going to pick it up and read it. These are quick, hilarious, and fun. I still think about the scene from the first book with the drill machine to this day. If you like something, again, I like books that make me laugh, and these do it, so do love these. Moving on from there, I have The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. It is a historical horror novel of a vampire, and I think it has to do with 1912, and it's a diary following what happens that led to the death of 217 Blackfeet, and in interviews by a Blackfeet named Good Stab. But I love historical vampire stories. I think almost every one I've read has been good, so giving it a shot. I also love Stephen Graham Jones. I have When the Moon Hits Your Eye by John Scalzi. This one is about humanity, and they've turned the moon into cheese. I don't know what to tell you. John Scalzi is one of those authors that he writes short, bingeable books for me. They're not super serious, but they are very fun to read. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about this. I just have skimmed the summary, but really it was the moon has turned to cheese, and I was sold. I have, again, the arc of this one. I need to get to it. It's gonna be short. All of his books are very short. It's gonna be 336 pages. That's nothing. And if it's anything like Starter Villain, the font is huge. So I will read this and hopefully report in soon. I also have The River Has Roots by Alma El Motar. Alma El Motar is the co-author of... Oh, my brain just went blank. Oh, what is happening? This is How You Lose the Time War. It's one of my favorite books, but my brain just went, no, not today. This is about two sisters who keep house and keep the border in this small town called Thistleford. It's on the edge of Fairy. It's the Hawthorne family. They tend enchanted willows and honor an ancient compact to sing to them in thanks for their magic. And these two sisters live together and they're very devout. But when Esther rejects a forceful suitor in favor of a lover for the land of fairies, not only the sisters bond but their lives will be at risk. So that sounds lovely. I also did not realize this is only 130 pages, so this is technically, I guess, a novella. I will probably actually try to read that tonight. So there is that one. Idle Fire by Grace Curtis is coming out, and from what I remember as I look this up, this is a cozy sapphic fantasy about a merchant, perhaps. Let me double check myself. It has a absolutely beautiful cover. I love those colors. Right now the big thing is very purples and blues, but this is very pretty to me. I don't normally like orange, but I really like this. Yes, a sapphic fantasy road trip inspired by the fall of Rome, which sounds fantastic. On one side of the world, Alea is desperate for a chance. Her family have written her off as a mistake, but she's determined to prove them wrong. On the other, Kirby of Wall's End is searching for redemption. An ancient curse tore her life apart, and to fix it, she'll leave everything behind. Fate sets them on a path to Novella, a city once poised to conquer the world with the power of stolen gods. Now the gates are closed, and old magic slumbers, dead or waiting for a spark to light it anew. And they're gonna bring the spark, I'm sure. And I'm gonna eat it up. I really enjoy Grace Curtis. I have read her previous 2 books and loved them. I especially loved Frontier. The Floating Hotel was good, but not my favorite. I'm hoping this is gonna be more on the Frontier side, so we will see. The next release I've got written down is Once Was Willem by M.R. Carey, who I quite like. I really enjoyed their first book, The Girl with All the Gifts. And there was another one they wrote about, I think it was a woman in a prison system, but I cannot remember the name. Fellside. I looked it up. It's Fellside. I read Fellside from them after Girl with All the Gifts. And at the time I read it, I didn't love it. But the more it the longer it sat with me, the more fondly I look back on it. I should reread that, to be honest. Anyway, Once Was Willem comes out next month. Next week, in fact. A dark medieval fantasy, a fable of twisted folklore, macabre magic, and the strongest of found families. Ooh, I think this is a reflective story. Yes, perhaps, maybe. Someone is telling us the story. 1100 and some years after the death of Christ in the kingdom that had but recently begun to call itself England, I, Once Was Willem, rose from the dead to defeat a great evil facing the humble village of Cossum. The words enclosed herein are true. Oh, that sounds great. I do read these before I get these arcs. I just forget them. I speak of monsters, magic, blood and bloodletting, and the crimes of desperate men. I speak also of secret things, of that which lies beneath us, and that which impends above. And the last line says, you will not thank me. Okay, I think I might though. That sounds great. Now I remember why I requested it, and I do have the arc, so I will be reading it at some point. I also have The Radiant King by David Dalgleish, and now I just recently read his Level Unknown, his newest release, which is a lit RPG, and I really liked it, and I loved his writing style, so I'm very much looking forward to this one. This man has so many books and series ongoing. It's wild to me. This is the first in a trilogy about immortal demigods, civil wars, and ancient evil. That sounds great. 6 immortal siblings, 5 sworn to peace, 1 demands a throne. Radiance, the mysterious power of life and creation, is theirs to command, and death cannot claim them. For hundreds of years, the ever-living ruled with ease, yet when the world was broken beneath their reign, the humbled 6 swore a vow. They will sit upon no thrones, wear no crowns, and no longer teach humanity the gifts of radiance. Okay, and it's about them getting in a fight because I assume one of them decides he's going to get it to nonsense. And you know what? I'll be there to read about it because that sounds great. One book I have read and I strongly recommend if you like cozy, if you like fantasy, if you like graphic novels, is A Song for You and I by Kay O'Neill. Kay O'Neill is one of my, if not my favorite graphic novel artists and authors. This one is about a young girl who is in the Pegasus Ranger Corps. They fly around and protect the countryside and the country from threats, small, very small, and large. And this is about one girl who is looking to basically earn her wings, become a full ranger, and she does some things and she ends up on like a probationary period while her Pegasus heals, and she goes on a quest with a young sheep herder. Absolutely delightful, beautiful. Some of these panels were stunning. Highly recommend this if you like fantasy graphic novels, and if you've liked Kay O'Neill's work before, they just continue to knock it out of the park. Can't recommend it enough. A Harvest of Hearts by Andre Eames. Now I'm pretty sure I do not have this on ARC. This is just one that I'm looking for, and I think it is a cozy style book, A Harvest of Hearts. This is in the beloved tradition of Howl's Moving Castle and the House on the Cerulean Sea, a whimsical and unforgettable cozy fantasy about adventure, common sense, the power of love. As a cheeky butcher's daughter, a befuddlingly handsome sorcerer, and his clever talking cat unlock magical secrets in the dark heart of their kingdom. Yes, thank you. That sounds great. It's several hours later. My basement smells like turkey burgers, and I fear that I too smell like a turkey burger, so we're gonna try to finish this. I'm not quite sure what I was talking about when I left you. Let's see. Oh, A Harvest of Hearts. Yes, cozy sorcerer. I think there was a talking cat in there. I am excited. I have looked at that book several times. I'm not going to lie to you. Had it pre-ordered, but again, I've canceled almost all of my pre-orders, so that's what I'm going to be looking for once it pops up somewhere I can get it. I will probably be purchasing it. Moving on, we have 5% of our battery left. Let's see what we can do. Guard in the Garden by Z.S. Diamante. This is a indie book, self-published. Takes place in his like cozy world. He's released a few books in the series, and this one specifically I know is about a war veteran of sorts coming to, I believe it is the inn that this world kind of is set in, or a similar place, and his journey to recovery, to relearning, and coming to rest and relax and stuff. It sounds very chill and cozy, and I'm very excited to give it a try. Next we have Murder by Memory by Olivia Waite. Now I have read Olivia Waite before. She has written some historicals, if I am correct. This is tagged as Becky Chambers meets Miss Marple in a sci-fi ode to the cozy mystery. It's only 112 pages, so have I requested this on NetGalley? I've got to look and see. I really want to read this. It looks very cute. A mind is a terrible thing to erase. Welcome to HMS Fairweather, Her Majesty's most luxurious interstellar passenger liner. Room and board are included. New bodies graciously provided upon request. And should you desire a rest between lifetimes, your mind shall be carefully preserved in glass in the library. What? I'm down. I don't know what it's about. I'm assuming it's a murder. Somebody is murdered, or somebody is murdered and then comes back and has to solve their own murder. We will see, but that part alone is enough for me to be like, okay, I'm in. The Prince Without Sorrow. I know I will say this name wrong, but Mathuri Wajskara looks very cool. I love the cover. It says, inspiration from the Mauryan Empire of ancient India plunges readers into a first book of a trilogy. Prince Ahsoka, sorry, Star Wars, is the youngest son of the tyrannical Emperor Adil Moriah, considered an outcast by his father for his rejection of the brutal onslaught against the witches of his empire. Ashoka longs for change. When the sudden and unexpected of his father leaves the monarch in disarray. I didn't turn my microphone on. Anyway, I found it. So this is about, he becomes emperor and he is terrorized by spirits suspected to be done by witches. He must fight his ideals and become the one person he despises most, his father. And then the other point of view is a witch who I believe is probably trying to affect him or attack him, and the two end up in a relationship. Now I had two more that I wanted to talk about, but my battery is dying, so I recommend you look down below for those. I will link those. That is the Serpent Called Mercy and the Scorpion and the Night Blossom, both of which look fantastic. But that is March releases that I am excited about. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know down below what you are going to be reading, and look forward to like my wrap-ups and my Friday reads. A lot of these I will be picking up via art, but like I said, thanks again for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.